Some lessons don't end when school does. Teachers never know when a word of encouragement or a single statement might influence the path of a student's life. But that's exactly what happened when this teacher and this student interacted in a ninth grade physical science class in 1989. This is their story, a teacher and a student coming full circle, connecting the dots in their lives decades later to discover they were more intertwined than they ever imagined.
So when I came through Pell City High School, I was probably Nicole, aka Nikki Forman, but now I do go by Dr. Nicole Forman, and I've kept my maiden name. And you were Mr. John Haynes.
Mr. Haynes, John Haynes. I've lived in Pell City since I was 2 years old in 1957, and I taught Nicole, Dr. Nicole, which makes me very proud, in high school.
Do you know why I wanted to interview you?
No,
for the music?
like I said, you said something about her. Rotunda said something about the funeral, and you were just, I don't know if you said surprised or happy to see me there, and I was glad to be there.
There's a moment in your class, Mr. Haynes, that you planted the seed
It's good.
for me to be a doctor that has been with me since that day.
Yes.
And I didn't want you to not know about that, and I didn't want people in Pell City to not know about that. So I actually remember the day. We were looking at a specimen, and I got it really quickly. I was good, I was done, but we were in groups. You had separated us in groups. And then, but everybody wasn't getting it. And so I went into one group and I was, okay, da-da-da-da-da-da. And we were sitting down. You were walking around the groups. You leaned over me and you said, good. You catch on to biology quickly and you would have a good bedside manner. You should be a doctor. Like many 14-year-old girls, like I wanted to be like a model, Whitney Houston or Madonna, right? Like that's where my head was. Like it was that, you say you encourage kids, but like, did you know in that moment who I was?
I knew who you were.
Okay. Who was I?
You were Lizzie's granddaughter.
So for me, the next time everything came together was once in medical school when my grandmother, Lizzie Forman, passed away. And I came home for her funeral.
Right.
And I saw you at the gravesite walking away. But then I said, what are you doing here? I asked you, what are you doing at my grandmother's funeral? And I remember this is when I found out. And the recollection that I have is that you said, your grandmother raised me.
Pretty much. She was my second mother.
And that, for me, Mr. Hayes, just shook my world. For you, this was like how you showed up every day to your students. But for me, it was transformative to my life. To think that, she was, the time when she took care of you, black women didn't have a lot of opportunity.
No, and it was something that, it was very special to us because she was so sweet. And all the kids in the neighborhood, I've been thinking about this, all the kids in the neighborhood used to come to our house because she'd fix them sandwiches and food and take care of them. And, it was like a community place to gather. And she was the center. My mother had 5 children in just a little over 6 years.
Wow.
And she left our house when school was out. We took her home. She went home. But she was there pretty much every day. And took care, like I said, took care of us and all the people who gathered around with us and watched after all the kids. And she was really just a wonderful person to be around.
I tell this story. And the reason I tell this story is because people don't understand, like, when Dr. John Haynes was like the doctor of Pell City, right? Like, people don't understand what it's like when you're a small town doctor. And
Right.
so I don't know where you made the connection and where you, like, said those two things. It was my science and then a bedside. I said his father was a physician, but not just a physician. He was like, I don't want to discredit any other of the doctors in Pell City, but was he like,
He was
like
pretty much it for
a while.
for many years.
Oh, that's what I thought. I didn't want to say that. Right. That personal human connection from your father, my grandmother taking, being in the home and supporting Dr. Haynes and his family, your mother, to then decades and decades later, right? The offspring of that. So it wasn't enough that, these stories along, different talks or different settings where I've taken, I was like, I need this. This is a hometown, family, Dr. Haynes, Lizzie Forman, offspring, and a human connection and experience that I thought it's just, and it's so like, I live it, I live it every day, and I'm very grateful.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy. And I think that's sort of what you're talking about. People don't understand each other anymore. They have a fixed view of everything. They see you, they see me, and they go, oh, there's an old fat guy, there's a pretty young black lady. But, they don't see the doctor that you could be, or, the teacher who worked hard to try to help encourage people.
So it was important for me that I wanted to, as much as I could, because I didn't know, like, how else. Yeah, I could have wrote a little note on Facebook, but I wanted it to be personal. And then with the creation of the Museum of Pell City, I felt that this was also a story of my grandmother, of your dad, of our families, that I wanted our community to also know about, right? You saw my grandmother as a person, you saw her grandchildren with capabilities like anybody else that was sitting in your class. And everybody doesn't do that. Unconscious bias is real. The notion that your hereditary gene pool is not your destiny, right? There's an environmental component of life that changes the trajectory of your genes. I feel I'm living that through the environment of people who speak life to people, right? People will ask me, oh, so how did you become a doctor? Was your dad a doctor? Was your mom a nurse? I'm like, no. They're like, well, what made you think that you could be a doctor? Oh, Mr. Hayes said that I'd be a good doctor, and so I kind of didn't have anything to believe that I couldn't, and I just did it.
That's great. It makes me feel really good.